Aloha! I'm Sandra Razielli, just getting out of the sun. I'm here to share with you a practice that today we're going to focus on creating a lot of length. And yes, I have some feathered friends who've come to join me. So I'm not sure how much they're going to work on lengthening their spine versus trying to find some tasty bugs to eat. But either way, I'm ready to practice. I hope you are too. Come join me. So for today, what I'd like you to have is 2 blocks, a chair, and a strap. It can be any kind of chair. I have a folding chair because I'm outside and it's easy to carry. But if you don't have one of those, any chair will do, just as long as it can be fairly stable and steady. All right, so I'd like you to start by sitting at the front edge of the chair. So I'm not going to turn the chair, but you'll see what I mean by there's at the front. I'm sitting at the front, not way back here, but just at the front. And be in a position where your feet can touch the floor. If your feet do not reach the floor, I know you can't see my feet in this position, but if they did not reach the ground or the floor, you can always put 2 blocks, your 2 blocks under your feet. And if your legs are so long that when you have your feet touching the floor, your knees are higher than your hips, then you take the blocks and put them on the chair. So we want to be in a position where we don't have the knees above the hips and we want the feet to touch the floor. So I'm going to stay right here, right in the middle. That's my Goldilocks position. Okay, here we are. Time to settle in. Feel your sit bones grounding. Encourage your spine to lengthen up. Take a moment. Notice that you are breathing. Good. And then go ahead and roll your arms so your palms face up towards the ceiling or towards the sky. Go ahead and lift your toes. As you lift your toes, press down with the base of the toes, your heels. Encourage your spine to lengthen a little bit more. Good. Then bring your toes on down. And go ahead and close your eyes. With your eyes closed, let your jaw soften. And again, notice that you're breathing. So today I'd like to explore a little bit about how the breath affects our shape and our relationship to gravity. So I'm going to ask you to start with your inhalation. And as you inhale, encourage the center of your body, your rib cage, your belly to expand. As you exhale, just let go. So a few breaths of just a quality of expansion on the inhalation. Letting go on the exhalation. Okay, and let that go. Let your breath flow for a moment on its own. And then lift your toes again. Keep the base of your toes, your heels rooting down. What I'd like you to feel is that when your feet root down, you can get a little more length up in your spine. And add that to the exhalation, that length. So when you exhale, feel your feet rooting down. Encourage your spine to lengthen even as you're letting go of the breath. Go ahead, let your toes release. You don't need to keep them up for this, but try that. Let your inhalation go however it goes. As you exhale, feel your feet rooting down. Encourage your spine to lengthen up. And then let the inhalation come. So you're doing this at your own pace. That exhalation, that sense of grounding down to lift up. Good. Inhalation coming on its own. Good. Then let your eyes open Just take a moment to roll your shoulders a few times, up and around. Now we're going to combine the two. What a surprise. So that the inhalation really is feeling of expansion, exhalation grounding down to lift up. So let's bring our palms together for this one. Press the palms in towards each other. Reach your elbows away from each other. Let your shoulder blades release down your back. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, feet grounding, spine lengthening. Remember, at your own pace. Expanding wide as you inhale. Lengthening as you exhale. Not forcefully, just gently. All right, let's place our hands on our thighs. Gently press the backs of your hands down into your legs. Encourage your spine to lengthen. And then let your eyes open. Wiggle your fingers a little. Good. All right, now time to stand up. Pay attention to how you stand up. Do you press down with your feet? Do you use your hands? Can you lean forward, shift your hips, and press down with the feet to lift up? Either way, whatever way, you got there. Stand on up. Now we get to do my favorite thing to do with the chair, which is not to sit on it, but to lengthen the spine with it. So if you need to move around to a different space, go ahead. If it's better for you to move your chair, go ahead and move your chair so that your hands are on the back edge of the chair. And then walk backwards. As you walk backwards, hinge at your hips. See, chicken is not even interested in paying attention to yoga. And yoga with chickens, I don't know if that's a thing yet. All right, notice when you get back, are you dropping your ribs? Encourage your ribs to stay integrated into your body. Still have your knees bent a little bit. Reach your sit bones back, back, back. Encourage your spine to lengthen. Breathe. And depending how your legs are feeling today, maybe slowly move towards straightening your legs. Maybe keep them bent. If you feel your spine round when you straighten your legs, keep them bent. Otherwise, go slow. So you have a deep crease at the top of the thigh. You're getting that sense of being angled. Good. And then take a step forward. Come on up to standing. Take a moment, mountain pose. Feel your feet rooting down, your spine lengthening up. Let's come back to that breath. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, expand. Exhale, lengthen. Bring a little arm movement to that. So inhale, expand. Just up to shoulder height. Exhale, lengthen. So even while the arms release down, the spine stays lengthening up. Okay, so we're going to come back now to sit on the chair. Sometimes twisting can help lengthen the spine because it gets the spinal fluid moving through the discs. So what I'd like you to do is to sit on the side of the chair in such a way that the chair back's on your left. And you can grab a block and put the block between your knees. Find that length again. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Oops, sorry. That's what I often say. But today, inhale, expand. Exhale. Feel the feet grounding. Encourage your spine to lengthen. So we're going to come into the quick twist gradually. And I'd like you to move just from your torso to start with. At the end, we'll use the hands to pull us a little more. But start with your torso. Bring your hand just above your navel. And on your exhalation, as you keep the length, go ahead and spiral to your left. From where your hand started. Then when you finish your exhalation, stop where you are. Expand with the inhalation. Then go a little further by twisting from a little higher, maybe from around your mid-rib cage. Stop on the inhalation, expand. On the exhalation, go a little further. As you go further, you might take your right hand to your left leg. Take your time, again, using the muscles in your torso. If it helps to place your hands somewhere to remind you to reach all the parts, go ahead and do that. So when you get to your maximum, then go ahead and turn your head. Stay breathing. Now take your right hand and hold on to the chair back and give a little pull. That's going to draw you a little more deeply into the twist. Staying with the breath. On the exhalation, right, we rotate. The inhalation, we expand. Then take your left hand onto the back side of the chair back and push with the left hand. That's going to take you a little deeper into the twist again. We have the block here to keep the legs steady, so we don't want to rotate right now from the pelvis. We keep the legs parallel to each other. All right, and then next time you exhale, let go of the pressure in your hands, and you'll automatically unwind a bit. Notice where you are. Again, inhale, expand, and exhale, unwind and lengthen simultaneously. Great. All right, so now second side. You can just turn around in the chair. I'll do that so you can see me going from the other direction. Again, the block is between your knees. Feet grounding down, spine lengthening up. Place your hand just above your navel to remind you to move from there first, not from your head and neck. Inhale, expand. Exhale, spiral. Take your time. If you have some imbalances in your spine, some scoliosis, take that into account. You may be shifting a little with that, as I am. Inhale, expand. Exhale, spiral. Feet rooting down, spine lengthening up. As you go a little further, take your left hand to the back of the chair. Use that to pull you a little more into the twist. I'm not going to twist as far in this direction with my upper spine. Then take your right hand onto the back of the chair and give a little push. Keep the spine long. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lengthening and spiraling. One more inhalation here. When you begin your exhalation, let go of the pressure on your hands. Let that unwind your spine a little bit. And then the next exhalation, unwind back to center. Good. Take a moment. Having been twisted and untwisted. Good. All right. And then go ahead and grab your strap. If it isn't within reach, go on, get it. Pick it up, grab it, and let's stand on up. Put the chair to the side. Come back to that lengthening. Just focus on the lengthening. So feet grounding, spine lengthening. Take the strap around your shoulders for a moment to build mountain pose. So hands at the tops of your thighs, the regal mountain. Press in with the palms and then down the top of the legs to get a little more length. Some of you may recall, I often teach to pay attention that your hips are over your heels. You're not a banana, even though they're very tasty. So hips over heels, thighs go down. Now we maintain that. Go ahead and take the strap between your thumb and forefinger and lift it up nice and tall. Root down with the feet, lengthen up with your spine. Breathe. Now, can you get a little more length from your rib cage? Let's see if I can. Shoop. Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Now I get a little more length. Now notice if you have a tendency to kind of bring your wrists together, that affects the shoulders. So reach through the inner wrist. That's going to give you more length all the way around. Stay lengthening, and then as you exhale, bend a little bit toward your right. Lengthen the left side of your rib cage. As you do that, turn to look out to the left. To come back up, use the left arm to bring you back up. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side unless you have, again, the imbalances, and do the side that works for you. If you're not sure, you can ask me on another time. Feet grounding down, spine lengthening up. On your exhalation, side bend to the left as you open up the right side of your rib cage. Breathe. And then use the left arm to come back up and release your arms. Good. And roll your shoulders up and around a few times. You can put the strap to the side, the blocks to the side, grab your chair again. Since I love straightening my spine on the chair, lengthening my spine, right? Our spines are never supposed to be completely straight, but they can get longer. Hands on the chair, walk backwards. See if it's a little different now. It's a little easier. You can get a little more length in the side ribs, around the rib cage. Breathe. Even here, inhale, expanding. Exhale, press the top of the chair a little bit away. Get that lengthening. And then take a step forward. Come back on up. Take a moment, just feel the length you've created. So now we're going to do a little opening for the hips while keeping the length in the spine. And today, I'm going to invite you to do this with the chair. If the balance doesn't work for you, you can do this not on the chair. But sometimes it's nice to have the chair to open up the hips. So we're going to start standing sideways towards the seat of the chair. Externally rotate your left leg and put it up onto the seat of the chair. Just like that. Now the challenge is to keep your spine long as you bend the knee a little bit. And then come back up. So just up and down, back and forth. Just creating a little more movement, mobility in the hips, keeping the length here in this back leg. Right now you may notice my back leg's facing forward. I'm going to do this. Each time you might go a little further into the stretch. Let's go one more time. And then hold it there. As you hold it, bring your forearm onto the thigh. Press the forearm down. It's going to help you keep the length in your spine a little. And then come back up. Now, let's do the same thing just a few times. Turn your leg in. It's going to be a little different sensation. Just up and down. Let's do it this time 3 times. 1. And 2. And 3. The spine staying long. Hold for a moment. Bring your forearm down. So you don't want to sink here. You press down with the forearm. You might feel a little bit of a twist when you do that because your spine is twisting in this position a little bit. Great. All right. Straighten the legs. Turn the leg forward. Come back to mountain pose. Notice your hips probably feel a little different from each other. So let's do the other side. You can either turn around, or if you have a more lightweight chair, take the chair to the other side. And from mountain pose, bring your leg on up. And let's begin, keeping the spine long. Just creating some movement in the hip joint. Okay, last time, hold it a little bit. Bring your forearm down, a little twist to the left. Breathe. Come back on up. Internally rotate your left leg a bit and a few times so it gets a little bit different sense of stretch at the top of the thigh. Keeping the length at the top of the thigh as you go. Good. And then release. Turn the leg a little forward. Bring the feet next to each other. Take a moment, mountain pose. Refine that length. Inhalation, expanding. Exhalation, grounding down to lift up, get that length. All right, so now a little bit different hip opening. I'm going to ask you to face the chair. And as you do that, take your left leg up onto the chair. And again, if the balance is not working for you, you can do this just the same on the floor. Take the left leg forward. Now, because we're facing over the front leg, when we bend the knee, our spine is actually going to come into a little extension, a little bit of a back bend. So your spine is not going to stay completely in the same position as you bend the knee. So you might feel a little bit of an arc of the spine. So let that happen. You might feel some length at the top of the thigh of the leg you're standing on. Just back and forth at your own pace. And then release, stand on both feet. Again, mountain pose. And second side. Step up, opposite leg, keeping that length, knowing that there will be a little sensation of back bending as you go. And then release. And of course, since the chair is right there, what better thing to do than to stretch your spine yet again? This time, take your hands onto the chair seat. Oh, the chickens like this one. That's why they came back, to see me do a lower spine stretch, right? Okay, walk backwards. So this is a variation of downward facing dog. Right? If you don't have inclination or time to get on the floor, you don't want to get on the floor, grab the seat of a chair. You can bend your knees a little bit. That'll give you a little more length in your spine. Reach your sit bones up and back. Breathe. That inhalation, expand. Exhalation, sit bones reach back. Spine lengthens opposite direction, away from your sit bones. Maybe move towards straightening your legs a little bit as you keep the length in your spine. Oh, that does feel good. Hey, the chicken thinks my toe is tasty. All right, let's take a step forward. This is actually my chicken. This is R2's sister. You might hear R2. I'm not sure. R2 is over there because R2 comes to visit and sounds like R2D2. So she's become quite friendly. And she's teaching the other chickens also to be friendly because they know where to get good things to eat. Okay, enough about chickens. I want you to feel as a mountain. Feet grounding, spine lengthening. Roll your shoulders a few times. Go ahead and interlace your fingers. Reach your palms forward. If this is too intense on your shoulders, grab a strap and hold them wide. Otherwise, take your arms up until you feel they come to a stopping point. Then root down with your feet. Lift your shoulder blades up to the second stopping point. Lengthening, lengthening. Good. I like this one today. Release your fingers, palms face each other. Now, feet grounding, spine lengthening. On your exhalation, take your arms down, keep your spine lengthening up. Let's do that a few times with the breath. So the inhalation expands. Exhalation, arms come down, but spine lengthens. One more time. Inhale, expand. Exhale. Create that length. Now let's play with our balance while we have that length. So to start with, go ahead and take your left foot forward. Keep the length in your spine, and then take your left foot a little bit over to your right. So your left foot is in front of your right foot. Now if the balance is fine there, go ahead and slide your heel to your toe. Now if you find that balance fine, go ahead and close your eyes. Can you still inhale, expand? Exhale, lengthen. Okay, and then release that back into mountain pose. Give it a little shake, a little shimmy. Second side, take your right foot forward. Maybe stay there with your balance or bring your right foot a little bit over to the left. Maybe stay there or maybe slide your right foot in front of your left. Play with that balance, expanding on the inhalation, lengthening on the exhalation. Option to stay here or close your eyes. Whoa. All right, and then release back into mountain pose. Take your feet a little bit, about hips distance apart. And let's do a few circles, hip circles. Forward, to the left, back and around. And the other direction. Now it's time to bring that length we've created into a couple standing poses. So either move away from the chair or move the chair out of the way. And then grab your two blocks. We're going to have them right in front of us for later. And then for now, take your legs wide. Big asana, arms wide, legs wide. Take your shoulder blades down your back. Feet grounding down, spine lengthening up. Bring your hands to your hips. It's time for a warrior two. Turn your right leg in. Turn your left leg out. Now, did your spine shrink in anticipation of being a warrior? Instead, root down to lengthen up. Find that inner warrior that creates that length. As you bend your front knee, take your arms wide. Breathe. Use that back leg, that grounding down to lift up. Even here, on the inhalation, expand. On the exhalation, ground down to lift up. Stay breathing. Then, as you keep the rootedness in the back leg, take your right hand to your right leg. Open up the left side of your rib cage. Nice long reach and stretch. And then keep that length you create in the rib cage. Bring your forearm onto your thigh. Spiral your spine open. Right arm up and over. Now, when we come out of this, can we stay long? So the way to do that is to root down as you lift up. Turn the right leg in. If your legs slip, bring them a little closer together. Bring your hands onto your hips. Second direction, left leg in. Right leg out. Inhale. Exhale, front knee. Deepens. Keeping the length, rooting down to lift up. You can look out over the right arm. Good. And then let's open up the left side of the rib cage. I'm going to keep my arm down because of my specific needs, but most of you will take your arm up, which would mean this, but I'm going to keep my arm down. Lengthen the side of the body. And then bring your right arm onto the thigh. Spiral the spine open. Take your arm up. Breathe. To come up, root down with the back leg, lift on up. Bring your right leg forward, and you have your blocks there. How fortunate. 2, lift the hips over the thigh bones, hinge forward. Bring your hands onto the blocks, and walk your arms as far forward as they will go, ears ahead of your arms. Breathe. Now, option to stay here. Listen to your body, or if it's good for you and you're ready for a little more of an inversion, bring your hands towards the floor. Let your head release down. Take your time to breathe. Make any adjustments that feel appropriate for you. All right, and then to come up, bend your knees slightly. Take your hands a little forward. Maybe walk your feet a little closer. Bring your hands to your hips. Walk your feet together. One last standing mountain pose. Go ahead and close your eyes. Inhale, expand. Exhale, feet root down, spine lengthen up. And then, since we are as tall as a mountain now, there's going to be rivers going down our mountain, so become that river. Just give a little flow, however feels good to you. We did a lot of angular movements today. Just flow a little bit. And flow your way all the way down to the floor. Go ahead, lie down on your back with your knees bent. Take one block, put it between your knees. Take your arms by your side. Let your belly hollow as you exhale. From here, we're going to come into a twist. So lift your hips up a little bit. Shift them over to the right. Place your hips back down. And slowly take your knees towards the left. As you take your knees towards the left, your spine is going to spiral. Part will go towards the left, but there will be a place where it turns and goes to the right. Encourage that action. Let your head follow. Gentle breaths here. Next inhalation, bring your knees up. Lift your hips, shift them to the right. And exhale. Shift your hips to the left. Place them back down and then take your knees to the right. Gentle breath. And next inhalation, knees come up. Put the block off to your side. Take your arms by your side. Time for Shavasana. It's important for us to move our bodies. It's also important for us to just rest. So find a position that feels good for you. Arms extended, legs by your side. Close your eyes. Watch your breath. Let the breath flow. Let the flow of the breath guide you to Shavasana, to relaxation. And then slowly and gently bring your awareness back to your body, back to your breath. Bring a little movement to your fingers, bring a little movement to your toes. And then let go for a moment. Exhale. Go ahead and interlace your fingers and reach them up towards the ceiling. Then release your fingers and just reach your arms towards the wall behind you or over your head. Just get a nice long reach and stretch. And then begin to bend your elbows, bend your knees, just move around a little bit. And when you're ready, roll over to your side. Take a moment there. And then make your way on up to sitting. So once you come to sitting, bring your palms together over your heart. Let's inhale, feel that opportunity, the potential, and the actuality of expansion. As you exhale, sit bones ground, spine lengthens. May the lengthening, may the breathing, may all the explorations of movement and just the movements we practice together support us all to experience a greater sense of comfort, joy, ease, and freedom. Namaste. Mahalo. And our friends came to say hi. Hello. 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 Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, but really lengthening your spine is a very good thing to do. Often it can help the breath flow, creates more space for the nerves. Very, very good thing to do. If you don't have time to do a practice like we did today, just using that chair to get the length in the spine is a great thing to do. All right, nice to share with you. Aloha.